All right, today I'm fresh off the pillow. Want to get this information out. I'm going to give you some tips on growing from seed or plants, relatively inexpensive if you don't have the money to buy seed stock. Also, where you can acquire free supplies. The first thing that I learned is if you go to an organic store and you make a good selection of winter squash and bring it home, let it sit on the counter for 2 to 3 weeks, you get to eat really well, plus the seed is viable. And the other things that will do this are dried beans. Very prolific producers, any dried beans. As long as you keep on picking from the plant, they will keep producing, very heavy producers. I've sprouted flax seed and sesame from store-bought seed with great success. And of course, they have to be raw. And the raw sunflower seeds, if you can find them that are still in their shell. Bell peppers, red bell peppers, viable seed can come from those. And I would try tomatoes. Tomatoes have a different process for drying them out, as well as cucumbers. Cucumbers from the store won't work. They are nowhere near maturity when they're picked. But when you're picking them from the vine, you let them go well beyond edible stage. And of course, they're in that gelatinous material. And people make the mistake of just trying to dry them. And the process for that is to put it in a glass jar with a couple teaspoons of water. Every day, give it a shake twice. About the third or fourth day, it'll be very stinky, and you'll may even see some mold on the top, and they'll rinse clean. And you put them on a paper plate and let them dry, and there you have it. Biennials are plants that don't produce seed the first season, and there are quite a few biennials that you could purchase at the store. And if you purchase them right and sprout them in your pantry, you put them in the ground in the springtime and they will yield viable seed for you. I have had success with potatoes of all kinds, sweet potatoes and regular potatoes, Russian, purple, reds, gold, you name it. And the potato process is, of course, to see the growth, or what they call the eyes. And you cube it so that it has 2 eyes on each cube, and you let it dry out for a few days before you plant them. Sweet potatoes coming from the health food store, they take a long time to sprout. And give you an idea, I planted 5 sweet potatoes from the organic store, and the harvest had been about 55 pounds of beautifully perfect formed sweet potatoes. Onions, if you've had onions in your pantry that they have the little green sprout coming out and you don't eat them, they can be planted, as well as carrots. So there's a lot of ways to be very frugal and still produce your vegetables. Watermelon seeds, of course, seedless has become so popular, but watermelon seeds are viable from the fruit. And most of the time they're really heavy producers given the right conditions. I don't believe any of the summer squash in the stores are large enough. You don't even waste your time there. What else? Free, absolutely free. It's amazing to me that the poisonous icings that your local bakeries consume come in safe plastic, and most of them are very willing to save, even rinse out those old icing buckets, safe number 2 plastics, and I use those for all kinds of storage. and I've even drilled holes in the bottom and have used them for planters and also for worms. Next free thing is plastic. If you're going to grow a garden and there's that chance of the late spring frost and you need to protect them, mattress stores have those enormous thick heavy sheets of plastic, and likewise like the bakeries, they are willing to put them aside for you and just, you know, clean them up a little bit, cut them, you know, to nice even squares, fold them up and tuck them away. So what else? Worms, the worm bins. I had mentioned that in a previous video of how easy they are and how important. And you might want to check in, do some research and find out worms for your area. The red wigglers will not make it through a very cold winter in the ground. I have to protect them in their bins. The bin is usually in the shed during the summer months, but in the winter I have to bring it in, and some people aren't really comfortable with that. So make sure you get a good worm that'll survive the conditions of your area. One of the most important things to the worm bin is to make sure you have holes drilled in the bottom, and as that vegetable matter, fruit material breaks down, it produces a lot of water, and the worms, you know, they need a moist environment, but it can't be saturated, so you need some drainage. So if I think of anything else on the freebie tips, I'll post another video. I hope you are working diligently, getting your ducks in a row, regardless of whether we see an all-out economic collapse and the breakdown of society. Still a great idea to be as self-reliant as you can and grow as much of your own food as you can. And if anybody would like to see the homesteading project that I did for 2 years, you're more than welcome to join me on Facebook. I have numerous pictures posted. Unfortunately, I lost my home and property twice, and now I don't really have, you know, the acreage to grow like I had done in the past, but I'm still doing what I can in buckets and a few little beds in the place that I'm renting. And hopefully when the time comes, I'm going to meet up with the people that have the resources and maybe a place to go to, and you know, they know it has to be done, but they don't have the practical experience of doing it and would like to have me along. So good luck to you all, and I'll be back soon with some more information. Take care.